2 weeks later, he was dead. 2 weeks later, he was dead. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, y'all, and I want to tell this, and I think I told this story before. All educators don't care. Let me just make that clear. They all don't care. They all don't care. And I didn't always realize that. And I had my wake up moment, right? Oh, this is so annoying. I had my wake up moment when I had a student. This is years ago, many, many years ago. He was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. He was a lot, but he was sweet. And he was just caught up in the streets. He was caught up in that environment, but he also he was trying. But he was a lot. And he had a temper, and it will almost be like as educators, when you know your students, it is our job as the adults to know how to handle them when we know who they are, not entice them, not antagonize them, to do our best to de-escalate them, right? And this baby, I call him a baby. He's not a baby. He's but he was having a child, and his threat was always to withdraw from school. That was always his threat. If he got mad, he would withdraw from school. That was always his threat. And I think we all knew that was his threat. If you pissed him off, he was ready to withdraw. We knew that. But no, we never paid him any mind. I didn't pay him any mind. Because I'm like, boy, go ahead somewhere, go to class and get out my face. I'll see you tomorrow. Right? Like, it was like, you're just in your feelings. This particular day, his child's mother had a doctor's appointment. He wanted to leave early to go to that doctor's appointment. It was we all knew he was leaving early. The school in particular that I worked for at the time, they had a very strict uniform policy. The kids could not change their uniforms in school. They had to have their uniform on at all time while they were in the building. Okay. He decided to change his clothes, but he was waiting in my office with me until he had to leave. Right. So that was like, he's gonna sit with me till he leaves. And then when he leaves, he would just go, right? So he what did he do? Somehow I think he went to whatever he did, he changed his clothes, right? He changed his clothes, he did that, whatever. And he got caught in the hallway without his uniform on. So there became this big, big, big thing about him not having his uniform on. And I was just like, he's in the office with me. It just went from 1 to 100, like 0 to 100 so fast, y'all. Before I know it, he was threatening to discharge, to withdraw again. And I'm just like, wait a minute, like, hold on. Like, how did we get here? Like, he was just leaving school to go to the doctor's appointment. And like, that was it. How are we now back to withdrawing him? Do y'all know they let this boy withdraw from school? I tried my best to say, don't let him withdraw. Don't let him withdraw. They let him withdraw from school. The icing on the cake was every meeting that we had, it was like a weekly meeting. They would make announcements of who withdrew from school or who was no longer enrolled. And when they said his name, not everybody, 95% of the people in that room clapped. I thought I was in a Twilight Zone. I was like, we're clapping? I know he was a headache, but we're clapping about him no longer being in school. We're clapping, we're celebrating this. 2 weeks later, he was dead. 2 weeks later, he was dead. Now, I'm not blaming the school for him being dead. But the place that he at least got to get away from for those 8 hours was no longer there. These were teachers and staff. It was a staff meeting, clapping. And of course, everyone felt bad. Because who wouldn't? You clapped. You clapped. So this is a community thing. They celebrated him leaving and him no longer being our problem. But now again, I'm not saying that we are the cause of that. I'm not saying that. But we gave up on him. That's what you did. In that moment, you gave up on him. That's what you did. And the Black community has been giving up on Black children for many, many years. Many, many years, just giving up on our children, giving up on our babies. So this is an issue, and this is making me emotional, y'all, and I apologize. It's just a lot because I care so much. I care so much. But that was like oh my God. There's no mother. There was no mother to call to school. There was no father. There was nobody. He knew that he could withdraw. Nobody's going to make him get back in school. Nobody's going to follow up with him. Nobody's going to do anything. That's just that. The community has failed our children. They're failing, and nobody cares about the children. Like, the neighbors don't care. The community, like, there is no community. Social media, ratchetness, music, all drill stuff, all of this stuff is just, it's just, it's just happening. It's just happening. And the parents make so many excuses. They make so many excuses for, like, it's too, and I'm gonna just say it be the mothers. 90% of the time, it be the mothers. It be the mothers.
Making excuses for their kids' behavior and lack of discipline is at an all-time high. And unfortunately, their teachers are the ones that are suffering. So many kids are so rude, they are disrespectful, they do not like being told no, they do not like being corrected, and when you try to do that, they get an attitude. They are so used to doing whatever they want to do at home, they are so used to getting their way. Some parents, you call them and they ask you, what you want me to do? Nothing, I guess. What you been doing? I'm really starting to think that some of y'all are afraid of y'all kids, or you just don't want to be bothered with them. Or maybe some of y'all just really don't want to be a parent, and instead of admitting that, you're blaming everybody else but yourself. Because the way that these kids don't jump when you say you're going to call their parents tells me everything I need to know. And then you have people that are like, oh, teachers are just complaining, they don't want to do their job. No, we are trying to do our job, baby. But some of y'all's kids won't allow us to do that. We're too busy correcting behaviors. We're too busy calling out things that should not be happening in our classrooms. We're too busy trying to discipline your children. Some of these kids spend so much time on video games and tablets and iPhones that that's literally all they want to do. And if you are feeling triggered by this post, or if you feel some kind of way about my post, it may have been for you. A lot of parents are on TikTok mad at teachers because your child's teacher is setting boundaries in her classroom and you and your child don't like it.
Where's the lies? There's no lies being told at all. Not one single lie, y'all. Not one single lie. This is the reality. When you meet the parent of a child, then you see where they get their behaviors from. You do. You see it. You see it firsthand. You're like, oh, okay. Like she said, they don't care when you say, I'm gonna call your mom. I work in high school, so I didn't had a girl call one of the staff member a crackhead. Like, they will say anything. They don't care. They will, and I know it gets younger and younger and younger. They don't care.